Welcome to Let's Play Super Mario Brothers 2. Story. When Mario opened the door after climbing a long stair in his dream, another world spread before him, and he heard a voice call for help to be freed from a spell. After awakening, Mario went to a cave nearby, and to his surprise, he saw exactly what he saw in his dream. Ah, Super Mario Brothers 2. This is such a throwback for me. When I was just a little kid, this was one of the two Nintendo games that we had. We had Super Mario 1 and Super Mario 2, and that was it. The hours I spent watching my mother play this game, before playing it myself for the first time. Now, you may see this as a big departure from the standard Mario format. There's actually a player select screen. You can choose between Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess Peach, and they all have different abilities. Well, they mostly play the same, but they all have a specialty. Mario is your average guy, all around. He can do pretty much everything. Luigi jumps the highest, Toad is the fastest, and Princess Peach can actually glide for a while, which is extremely useful, especially if you're just getting started in the game. I find she's the easiest character to play with because of that. So, why don't we dive into the game and introduce it as we play? How does the story begin? Well, by falling into a strange new world, of course. How else would this story begin? In a way, this game is even more reminiscing of Alice in Wonderland than the original Mario. Shigeru Miyamoto was quoted to have said that one of his inspirations for the Mario world was Alice in Wonderland. And it's no wonder, even in the first game, the fact that Mario gets transported to this strange new world where mushrooms can make you grow bigger and you can also shrink is, well, it's hardly difficult to see how it would be inspired by Alice, ever so slightly at least. But Mario 2, I find, is even more Alice in nature. Because Mario gets transported to yet another strange world in which he falls from a door. The story begins in a very similar fashion to Alice, you'll have to admit, with all these doors taking you to new worlds, and the introduction of that magic bottle, sorry about that. So, in a way, this game just feels a lot more like Alice in Wonderland to me. But that's not all. It brought back some interesting elements, like the POW block that you've seen me using. The POW block was in the original Mario Brothers game on the arcade, and it wasn't anywhere in Super Mario Brothers 1, but they did bring it back in this. Now, I think it's important to address the elephant in the room, because a lot of you might know about this. This game was not originally planned to be a Mario game. Originally, this game was called Doki Doki Panic, and it was made to promote an event that was taking place in Japan. The characters of the game were actually the mascot characters of that event. But, this game, when it was brought to North America, took a whole different look. The reason for that was that Super Mario Bros. Was a huge success and people were waiting for a sequel. Now, the original Super Mario Bros. 2 from Japan is very similar to the first game. The graphics are almost identical, except for a few changes, but the gameplay is a lot harder. When Howard Phillips of Nintendo of America was sent a copy of Super Mario Bros. 2 and tested the game, he said that unlike the first game, which brought fun challenges and, well, actual pleasure to its players, Super Mario Bros. 2, the original Japanese one, was very painful to play. It felt like the difficulty level was very unfair, and that it wasn't challenging in a fun way. It felt like the levels were constantly playing tricks on you, like the game was trying to prank you, or something about the game, he said, felt very mean-spirited. Whoa, I fell. Huh. Looks like we'll have to try this again. Come over here, buddy. I need that magic carpet of yours. And so, upon receiving that criticism, Nintendo decided to do something a little different for North America. They decided to take Doki Doki Panic, which had been created by most of the team responsible for Mario anyway, and give it a big overhaul. Overlook is not exactly the word I was looking for. So they took Doki Doki Panic, gave it a brand new coat of paint to make it more Mario in nature. And that's how this beautiful game came to be. I've always been a big fan of Mario 2. As a kid, I would spend so much time watching my mother play this game. That's because I wasn't very familiar with playing video games yet. The only game I'd played was Mario 1, and I couldn't make it very far, so imagine making it anywhere farther in Mario 2. I always thought the game felt so different. In this game, you don't jump on enemies to defeat them at all. You actually have to grab them and throw them, which is so different from the original Mario. But I always was fascinated with the game. Even if it was different, I loved it, and it was so much fun seeing my mother make it further and further in the game every time we played it. She kept saying that she had finished it in the past, but every time we played it, we never made it to the end. But we did make it a bit farther every time, and I was so grateful for her taking the time to play it with me. It's a very dear memory. Of course, eventually, I ended up playing the game myself. The first time I played this by myself, I think I was about maybe 4 years old. And I distinctly remember that the playroom at my parents' house had this huge wooden TV, and usually that's what I would play the Nintendo on. So I decided to set up a little something, because the character select screen in this game has this big curtain around the characters. I decided to set up a little tent around the big TV, so I took some chairs and some blankets, and I made this tent all around the TV to play Mario 2. I still remember sitting in my dark little tent and turning on the TV, and just diving into the game when Mario fell in the world of Subcon. It felt like I was falling with him, and I went on a journey in Mario 2. I don't think I made it very far on my first try, though at least, having seen my mother play it before, I kinda knew what to do. But still, it took me a while until I got to finish it. I think it actually took me years, and the reason for that is that after a while, our old Nintendo broke. So I couldn't play my old Nintendo games anymore. That is until we got a Super Nintendo years later, and then I got Super Mario All-Stars. Since Mario 2 is part of the games that they included in Super Mario All-Stars, I finally got to play it again, and that's when I got to practice playing it until I could finish it. Okay, I think I should demonstrate something. You see these tasty looking cherries? When you grab 5 of these in a row, a star appears. Now, this game may be different from the original Mario, but a lot of Mario elements were added into the game. The star is one of them. Now, I wish I could bring that bottle with me without falling, but I'm not running anymore. That's going to be a problem. Urgh. Okay, there you go. I remember the mushroom being here. The mushroom is always in this dreamlike world, so you have to find where to use that bottle if you want to find the mushrooms. It just takes a lot of experimenting to find them all. Now, I'll show you a secret that's hidden in this level. Though I won't go inside of it, I'll just show you where it is. There is a warp that takes you to World 4, right here. See this vase? You can't go inside of it like this. However, if you go into the dream world, then you can go inside the vase and it takes you straight to World 4. Experiment it sometime. Alright, let's go inside the fortress. We have to make our way to the top and get the key. There's a locked door down there, and that's our destination. These blocks are called mushroom blocks. They're very heavy, and you use them to defeat enemies, but you can also stack them up to make a path for yourself. Just like so. I always used to think they kind of look like little jars. Next time we see them, I'll show you what I mean. They look like white little jars with a red cap on top of them. For some reason, when I was a kid, I thought they were little jars of butter. Probably because of Little Red Riding Hood. You know, in the story it says that she brings a little jar of butter to her grandma. And because of this game, I pictured that's what a little jar of butter looked like. I was kind of a weird kid. And maybe now I'm just as weird as an adult. Or maybe everyone thinks this is a jar. I know that the completionist thought that they looked like little jars of pudding, so I may not be that crazy. Or maybe we're all crazy. Oh dear! Almost got hit by that Sparky thing. I don't think that's what they're called, but I like to call them Sparky. If it indeed is their name, then I think they bear it very well. Now, let's take that star. Yeah! Oh, they jumped over me. Very smart little ninja. They knew what was best for them. And so we make it to the boss of World 1, Mauser. You'll see, he's got quite the heated temperament. Or heated temper. I think that's how you say it in English. Hello, Mauser! Now what you want to do is throw these bombs back at him. But the timing is kind of tricky. I always end up doing it too early. Though, so far it seems to be doing pretty good. Oh, okay, that went well. Nice! A little victory jump? Let's go! I've never had much luck with these. If you get the cherry first, then you're guaranteed to get a 1-up, but lining 3 of the same picture barely ever happens to me. There might be a trick to it, but I don't know, maybe it's because my timing is off. Still, having 8 lives is not so bad. Oh well. That was it for World 1. We make our way to World 2, the desert. Here we are. Look at that night sky. Isn't that lovely? It's probably cold out here. Oh, I should show you what's inside these jars, aside from these snakes. Let's see. Some sort of smiley face, and a green sniffet. Oh dear! Well, looks like we can find a turtle shell in that jar, but that's about it. Still, it's always worth investigating. You never know what you could find down here. Just have to time myself, whoa, properly. Where should I use this? You can actually take it with you, which is nice if I knew where to use it. How about we see if there's a mushroom here? Looked like a good spot for it. Look at those black stars in the sky. Inverted stars. Instead of making light, they actually, I guess, make it disappear. They make darkness. Here you go. Oh, look at him sinking head down. I almost felt bad for him. If it it wasn't for the fact that they're always in our way. Hello, little snake. Let me take you on a ride. Let's go inside the pyramid. Oh, you can't come with me, huh? Bye-bye. Now we have to dig to the bottom of the pyramid. I don't remember if there's a key in here. I don't think so. But let me tell you, when you have to dig to reach a key, it's actually very tricky. Princess Peach doesn't dig very fast. That gliding ability of her is so good that I don't think they gave her good stats overall because of that. Otherwise, I think she would have been a bit broken as a character. I want that star! Yeah! Alright, the ladder is right here. When her hair is flashing like this, it almost looks like it's blonde. Just like it's going to be in the future. I kinda like the idea of having Princess Peach as a redhead though, or a brunette. I thought it was very cute. Just like how they portrayed her in the cartoon. Though maybe giving her these big Popeye arms was not the best choice in design. But it was still a cute design. I can't blame the character designers of that cartoon. Considering the source material, I think they did a good job. And as a kid, it was so thrilling renting a tape of that cartoon. The video store close to my home had like 4 different tapes, all in French, of the Super Mario Bros. Cartoon. And as a kid, there was nothing more thrilling than seeing my characters come to life on the screen like this. Finally get to see Mario, Luigi, the princess, and Toad just talking and going on so many weird adventures. Though, trying to watch it growing up, I'm not as fond of that cartoon anymore. I find it very nonsensical and not in a way that I enjoy. Though, it's still entertaining to watch it just to see what kind of weird stuff they came up with. If you're ever curious to see a good summary of the show, the Nostalgia Critic did a great review of it where he addresses a lot of interesting points about the show. And well, it's actually a very funny review too, so... If ever you're curious to find out more, that's a great way to do it, unless you can get your hands on a DVD box set. Whoa! Oh, this is bad. Stay back, Pokey! Alright. Looks like we made it. But we're not out of the woods yet. Looks like we have some digging to do. And we're Tiny Mario. This is looking dire. Can we actually survive this? Well, sure helps to have a star. Alright, we may make it through this after all. The important thing is always to dig in a way that makes it difficult for the Shy Guys to follow you. Make them work. They're chasing you, they might as well work for it. Oh dear, this one is coming after me. At least we're not on the other side. Look at that green Sniffit. Oh no. We have to go to the other side. Why don't we just let him pass? Let's do that, shall we? You do your thing, green Sniffit. You do you. I'm not interested. Oh, there's still that Shy Guy in the way, though. This is a problem. Oh dear. Oh dear. Zigzags. Zigzags! Ah, we made it. And now I guess we have to fight Birdo, huh? Look, it's little jars of butter. You see it, don't you? I'm not crazy. Okay, I am crazy. See, this red Birdo is different, because sometimes it doesn't spit an egg at you. No, sometimes it spits fire. Though I hope it doesn't do it. Then again, at least I could prove it to you, if you've never seen a red Birdo. They just spit the occasional fireball to trick you. Because of course, you can't catch the fireball and throw it back. Oh, there it was. Okay, rematch, Birdo. Let's go. This time it will be different, my friend. Oh! Huh. That jar was in the way. Oh, I keep calling it a jar. The mushroom block was in the way. Fun fact about Birdo. I usually refer to Birdo as a he, but that's only because in the instruction manual for the game, at least in English and French, they said very specifically that Birdo was male, but he liked to dress up as a girl. So because of that, I always assumed that was the case. I'm like, you know, it's from Japan, it's probably accurate. That's something Japanese people like, having quirky characters like that. Until you find out that in the Japanese version of the game, Birdo is just straight up female. So, for some reason, the people in charge of translation in North America saw Birdo, and they were like, you know what this character needs to be? Let's have Birdo be a transvestite. I mean, doesn't that just make his character more appealing? Good on them. I guess you could say Birdo was a very progressive character for its time. Oh, that mysterious door. As a kid, it bothered me so much, I had no idea how to make it up there. Until I found out you just have to make a super jump as Luigi. Yeah. I felt silly when I found that out. Ha! There is a mushroom in here. Oh, look at that negative door. Actually, throwing a shadow on the ground instead of light. These weird doors, as a kid, always kind of seemed out of place to me. I won't say that they scared me, but, let's just say I had a very strange dream about Mario 2 once. You know how when an enemy is defeated in Mario 2, they fall to the bottom of the screen, like this? Well, I had this dream that I went into one of these quicksand pits, and instead of just falling to the bottom and getting a game over screen, when I fell down the quicksand, it actually took me to this underground area with a pitch black background, and all the enemies I had defeated were down there, but they were all white, kinda like ghosts. Kind of freaky as a dream to have as a kid. It's not especially scary because it's just Mario 2, like how scary can it be? But still, it was so unsettling, and for the longest time because of that, I kept wondering, like, was that a thing? Is there such an area in the game where all the enemies fall? And I kept searching in all these vases, like, maybe there is a vase somewhere in the game that takes you to that weird area. Turns out there is no such thing, it was just a dream. But still, in Yoshi's Island, there's these weird pipes where enemies keep spawning from. Sometimes it's Shy Guys, sometimes it's... well, it's mostly Shy Guys in Yoshi's Island. But they just come out of these pipes, and you can actually go down that pipe. It serves no purpose, but you see the little area where the Shy Guy spawns. It's just like this dark cave underground where they keep appearing and then they make their way to the top of the pipe and just come out. But for some reason, the fact that you could actually see where the Shy Guys come from, and it's this just weird, slightly creepy underground area, really reminded me of that dream I had. So, yeah. In a way, it almost felt like my dream came true. Ouch! Hey, I let go of the key, Fanto, what gives? You knew I was just going to pick it back up, didn't you? You couldn't trust the Luigi. But look at that Luigi, he looks like he can be trusted. Looks like a trustworthy guy. Look at that jump. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Moving his little feet. Oh dear. Oh, I don't want to die here. Sorry, Snick. Out of the way. Do your thing. Alright, let's go. You're coming with me, Snick. Let's go. Oh, you can't. Okay, goodbye then. Oh, we made it to the boss already. Oh, I'm a bit apprehensive. Kinda scared. Maybe I should make a barricade right here. You know, just to play it safe. Having something to hide behind. I don't know if my barricade is very effective. Looks like it's working. This is Triclide. A fire-breathing snake with 3 heads. You need to hit him 3 times. And if you run out of little mushroom blocks, these tweeter enemies appear, so you can use these instead. Ah, we made it! We made it to the end of World 2! Are we going to get anything? Oh! Well, that was a pleasant surprise. Cool, alright. Even better. Well, that was World 1 and 2. Next time, we'll tackle World 3 and 4. Until next time, everyone, I wish you all a good night. And thanks for watching!